gotta go. time. He does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him?
I don't know, bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
Welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 12, Week 8. My name's NightFiree with 2 E's, and I am hopping into an afternoon battle and a late night EU matchup. BossFight versus Vikings, number 2 versus number 3 worldwide, I believe. Yeah. Number 2 versus number 3 worldwide. The EU really dominating the top of the ladder. BossFight, beginners, BossFight, and Vikings, the 1, 2, and 3. And rightfully so. These teams been around in the league for a long time. You look at BossFight, been in there since Season 2. Vikings since Season 4. And their rosters have changed, but still do remain a core of players that have been there for a very long time. And even the players that they have brought in are not new to the game. They've been involved in the league for some time now. And so both of these squads going to be bringing in a super hype battle, a really intense back and forth between these squads here today. And if you're tuning in for a great fight. And a great learning experience. Again, you're going to watch the number 2 and number 3 worldwide duke it out. So strategy is going to be on showcase here. And, well, the first Viking stream of Season 12 also live right now. And so very hype. Also, I suppose while you're tuning in here, you should have the multi-stream up, because we do have another game live over on VRML 3, Nomad's first solo cast. So do go over there. Show them some love. Remember that if there's any mistakes or errors, it is their first time live trying to utilize all of the VRML assets and stuff, and sometimes it can be pretty taxing. But I have good faith in Nomad. They've been a great co-caster so far, and I'm very hyped that they are getting into that solo cast, so go show them some support as well. Get the multi-stream up. Watch both of the streams, because, you know, probably between rounds there's something else going on the other channel, so good to have both up if you can. If you don't know what multi-stream is, I guess just look up on Google. There's like a bunch of multi-stream websites. Maybe we'll have someone post a link to the multi-stream, and then I can repost it. But either way, tune in to both streams here. This one going to be super exciting, and we do got to get into our pick bans for the day. For those not in the know, home team gets to pick the first ban. Away team picks the second ban. Home team BossFight picks Suburbia. Away team Vikings pick Tanker. And it leaves us with a predominantly custom map pool here. I mean, we have the likes of Paradise, Hook, and I'm blanking on the third. I can't remember. Chat will help me out. But Paradise and Hook certainly available, obviously in the map pool here, as we're still in the middle portion of the season. So we're still on that second rotation in the map pool. We'll have new maps get cycled in towards the back half of the season, which we are nearing, which will be super exciting. I always like the first week of a new map pool. Really fun to see the new maps and new strats come out right away. But regardless, both teams are going to be well prepared for our first map of the day, which is going to be Hook 2.0, picked by the likes of BossFight since they are home. And so clearly not afraid of the, I would say, close quarters. You know, I look at the map pool and I do see a lot of available range. Downfall obviously comes to mind as a map that can be picked into here, but BossFight's roster is different than it has been in the past seasons. Currently, over on BossFight, the active roster, we have Radar Head, 24 Gray, Archer, Little Sayonara, and Woods 43. And over on Vikings, we have Mantis, Caltrop, Thrywin, Embo, and Shadow Warrior. And so again, you know, not the standard core. And so while Downfall may have been the original you know, the old BossFight's top map picks, I think their sort of play style has changed just a touch, and we will see what we get here from these squads, as we don't have to buy time any longer. It is going to be round one kicking off here. BossFight versus Vikings. Into the action we go. We have that north objective. Oh, and right away, a kill coming in. Thrywin's going to pop up over the beach and snag one early. Radar Head's looking immediately for the refrag, and it is quickly scooped up.
Come out the top of his head. I might have killed him. Possibly Echo 4 cannons.
Nice start here for both sides, really. Vikings kicking it off with a very early pick. Puts a brief pause in the momentum. But one thing BossFight have been showcasing lately is a very fast pace. They are not afraid to attack objectives within the first minute, 2 minutes. They do also have the knowledge and strategy to play it slow and conservative. And so we may see, you know, shifting in pacing here in terms of speed as they attack and reassess their objective push. Embo is here in the corner. Oh, and Radar does not spot out, or can't spot out, Embo's head there. Mantis snags Woods. A split firefight here as Archer gets rid of Mantis up on the 2-story, and this is going to give them control of this second floor. They don't necessarily need it, though. The focus of the fight really is over in the south now. Sayonara and Radar Head are both here. Embo's going to find the first kill. Radar Head spots that, and I wonder if they know Radar is here still. Shadow Warrior did peek. Embo may be feeling maybe a touch overconfident. Shadow Warrior could overextend around the corner, could lead at least 1 or 2 here for Radar, and we're still in a 2v3. So the back and forth has been close. I wonder what the timing is going to look like here on this push for the duo. Radar now aware of how much time is left. Knows that there's only 2 available. Archer is a bit off of the objective push here, though, as Radar gets very close. Archer hasn't quite made their move up through the north side here, which I think Radar really needs to drive the attention from Shadow Warrior and maybe even Embo. When Embo going to continue to extend out here and able to snap there onto Radar as Radar finds the kill. It leaves Archer alone in a 1v2. Smoke coming up and over, and Caltrop tucked in deep. Maybe actually apply some pressure here off the flash. One flash comes up over the top. Caltrop does not get caught as they swing the corner. And a nice aggressive push out there from the Vikings from both sides to find both kills. Not really what you would expect, but if they have an accurate kill count, maybe the confidence there, and you can assume that at this level, these teams are very aware. Their comms are going to be on point. As soon as somebody goes down, that gets called out. As soon as someone's identified, it gets called out. And it seemed to me like that play involved Vikings understanding the situation they were in, understanding that it was 3v2, and they had one in the north and maybe one in the... I mean, Embo definitely was not aware of radar in the south there. But you could see the reaction to spotting radar was fast enough to get that kill. And Vikings are coming out swinging here. A big game here for them as they do want to try and continue to climb that ladder. You know, once you're in the top 8, it is a matter of securing your position there. And a win for Vikings here would be very big. It would give them a nice chunk of MMR that they could utilize in stabilizing themselves in the top 3 at the very least. Certainly, you know, I wonder. Always some interesting math to be done, you know. But I wonder at what point is a team sort of locked in? You know, like do they? How much can they lose, and then they'll drop out of the A? You know, again, the math would have to. The stats would have to be crazy.
Like I'm gonna.
But I do wonder, you know, where how many more games Vikings need to lock in this season. And we're really kind of only at the halfway mark, so there's plenty of games left to be played. I don't think they're anywhere near being comfortable enough to just, you know, lose games, but still. Would be a nice win to get locked in here for the Vikings. And we are only into the first round, so a lot of theorizing around really a bunch of nothing. BossFight now go on the defense in round 2. I get to see what their defensive style looks like with Woods 43 tucked in. Oh, and we're seeing some signaling here.
I kind of do wish I had night vision. Oh yeah, one of the rocks. Oh god.
Wow,
oh,
right
big
as
rock,
Woods signals, Sayonara takes shots on the corner. And then swings to find one, can't get the double. Caltrop able to react fast enough.
I'm on you.
Trouble with Sayonara is still there deep, and this peek up over the ledge is going to be very risky.
So Rainbow 4, one behind, like, I mean, obviously behind the big rock, you know, covering the beach. I can't see anyone on the wall from here. But...
Oh, wow, and the straight up challenge as Caltrop pops up and over. Sayonara is smart enough to back off the
right
shots.
Right off the big rock, you know.
Right off the big rock.
Brywin can't quite find the angle.
I already called this out. I'm going back to the
and is now very risky here, standing up and manages to get inside.
I can't eat. Oh, there's a smoke here. Hang on. Whoa, that's dangerous. You're in the danger zone, soldier.
Brywin manages to get out across. Sayonara challenges again. Mantis finds the kill this time. South is secured for Vikings. BossFight still spread over onto the north side, and Radar has to shift around to this south side. Gonna challenge off the high ground and manages to lock in that W. Gonna rotate back around to the right and has to be ready for more as Caltrop is also pushing into the same position. Mantis still here in the south, and the play is in the south for Vikings. But it's a 3v3. Radar finds another up on that hot top ledge. And Mantis now alone, it seems, in the south push. Radar manages to cross in front of Mantis. A great flash comes up and over there, and Radar is completely blind. Mantis trying to apply the pressure fast enough, but I don't think it's going to be soon. And oh, it is. Radar not ready for Mantis to be right there. So Mantis able to scoop up one. The MCX keeping it very quiet as well. One of the quietest guns, well, I think the quietest gun in the game. have to preserve energy here. Second round. Map 1. Already, that's exciting. Vikings find themselves in a 2v1. 24 gray in the end-all, be-all position to defend the objective. Mantis does swing around and hits the crouch just in time. Gray has a second rotation spot. Backs off. The only trouble is that they are lacking a bit of coverage on that doorway entry. And the threat of a second floor kill is very present. Embo could pull the gun over that ledge and have shots down onto Gray. Mantis is the one that's going to find the kills, though. And Vikings...
Thank you.
Looking confident here on their play on offense to lock in a 2-0 lead on BossFight's map pick. I don't know if this is the start that BossFight we're expecting. But Vikings certainly playing well here. And you know, I talk a lot about the sort of early game strategizing of picks and bans, and you know, I guess we didn't talk about it at all today, but I like to talk about the strategy of picks and bans, and you know, why teams pick ban certain maps. If you look at BossFight's stats, for example, they have not played Suburbia this season. So they've managed to stay away or ban it every time it's played. And if you look at Vikings, they've only played Tanker once. BossFight have also played Tanker once. And so for that pick, it could be either... I think it would be that Vikings are more concerned about BossFight's strategies on Tanker. And I would also sort of guess that some of this even goes back... I wonder if they've scrimmed. You know, I would think BossFight and Vikings have scheduled scrims against each other, and they've seen some strats that they're afraid of, potentially. Maybe they've scrimmed on Tanker and not had such a good time. And so that is also being factored in. That's something that the stat page can't necessarily show. And I'll only know it once people in chat go, "No, NightFiree, you're wrong."
Someone's got it.
I'll do my best, but I'm...
That's not how you sound to me.
Your best is all we need.
No, NightFiree, you're wrong.
Okay.
Into round 3 we go. Don't clip that. We switch objectives into the center of the heart.
Beach, no beach.
And it's going to be quickly identified. Mantis spots out the spawn and very early tucks in. Audio cues only, doesn't peek up. Nobody risks their life to get the info. And I don't know what happened to Archer.
I think I killed one water.
Does Archer know what happened to Archer?
I literally floated out to sea and they shot me in the fucking air.
Okay, that's what I saw.
So there's one around the corner between the buildings in the open.
The Dutchman.
Oh, no, it's in the water.
Oh, Woods almost gets tagged.
Forget about me. He's in the open.
Brywan able to get little Sayonara.
Two. I'm building 2. I'm building 1.
Another battle up through the center. Mantis
Yeah, no.
looking for a fight. Caltrop up at the top, trying to go for the hunt up through the center.
Oh, I mean,
We're into an awkward 3v5, making it a 3v4. Gray able to get rid of Mantis.
Yeah, Mantis died.
Caltrop and Shadow still on objective, but there's a weird stealth route to be taken by Radar here if Caltrop doesn't continue to check. Oh, and actually Caltrop's going to go down a nice swing. Brywan with a quick refrag. Oh, and now Radar's giving away the game. There's the trade up over the top. We're into a 1v2. Gray not going to be able to rotate around and scoop up the res. Embo and Thrywan crashing back to support the objective. I wonder if Gray is going to rotate around into the water. I don't think they're going to go for this res onto Archer. Flying Dutchman. That's what I was looking for. Oh, I wish I had had it at the time. The Flying Dutchman. Got Archer there. And he went for a little bit of a sail. And I don't think he was actually shot. I think he was then dropped into the ocean. So that he can swim with the fishes. And, well, I think sharks are fish. Shark out there. Anywho, Gray alone in a 1v2 as Archer drowns. Not an insurmountable odds by any means. 240 left on the clock as well, so a lot of time to work with. And Gray is looking for some very small lines here to assess positioning. If there's anyone up onto that 2-story, anyone looking out. Thrywin has a deep angle, though, and this is going to be a tough one to root out. Crouched very deep, really minimizing the exposure over a small ledge. And the rotation here from Gray may actually be what's needed. If they are ready to peek and check this line. They're ready to anticipate Thrywin being here. There's a chance, and yeah, oh, Gray just scans over the top of Thrywin. Thrywin isn't holding this angle, though. And in VR, you don't have a big field of view. So they're not seeing Gray out of their peripherals. Oh, but that peek out is definitely big enough. And Vikings are up 3-0. Barring the ghosts of Hook 2.0. Could have been a bit different, but there are bugs. Crashes happen. I've never seen that one before, but that's the beauty of Onward. There's so much variety. Sometimes you never know what you're going to expect. You never know what you're going to get. Taking a gander at chat, see if I've been corrected by anybody here. So far, I guess not. We've been pretty accurate. I'm going to look back at this footage as well. It's happening right now. Yeah, Archer like got trapped in a hitbox and then dropped. Very strange. A bug to report, I suppose. And while we wait for that bug to be filed, we can take a look at the KDs. Radarhead 5-3, Mantis 5-2, both the standout kill leaders on their respective teams. 2-3 for Woods, 4-2 for Thrywin. But a pretty close KD feed here, you know, Caltrop 2-2, Ambo 2-1, 1-3, 1. You know, it's BossFight are finding kills, which makes these losses much closer. You know, despite the 3-0 lead right now, BossFight are not out of this by any stretch of it, and a team like BossFight very capable of mustering up the full comeback train of 3-0. There's certain objectives on this map in particular that can lend to a cap push, and so, you know, who knows what could happen. Sayonara IDing Warrior right away in the tunnel, and that's going to give away the spawn location. So now Radarhead should feel confident in peeking over, but maybe a little overconfident as Thrywin spots that lake peak over to the ledge. Gray flashed in the corner as Caltrop, I think, just trying to draw a bit of attention and distract. Vikings have full control, though, of this south town area. I don't know what the call out is for it.
Like,
And it gives them great lines of sight over into that second and third floor of the objective, right up onto little Sayonara as Mantis scoops up one with the MCX. Vikings could be looking at 4-0ing boss fight on their map pick right now. Archer not only has to watch out for the Vikings, but also has to fear the ghosts of this map. A little bit extra hard. The on-objective defense, though, that's what I'm kind of keeping the eye on here, because Caltrop could pop down, if they find 24 Gray, they could pop down and be pushing up towards the objective space. I suppose Woods has a late angle. Well, it's a very interesting setup, actually. Very far away from objective, but the lines they're holding, big lanes that have to be pushed down, and so I do like this split here from Gray and Woods. They still do have a good cross section. Woods does have to rotate off, though. Are going to have a fight soon enough here. Got to keep our attention split. The Vikings team trying to attack from multiple angles. Comes down drop. The drop shot catches out Gray.
-1.
On the other side, another kill picked up. And Archer is alone in a 1v3 as Mantis finds the kill. Vikings 4-0 boss fight on their map pick. And I feel like maybe it was a bit of a risk taken by the likes of BossFight to choose a custom map like Hook. Again, I don't know what the factors could be there. Maybe, you know, maybe a confidence in their scrim play. Who knows? But Vikings definitely looking good on Hook. Could have been a map that Vikings picked into. You know, based off of this outcome. Now, of course, the trouble is that Vikings get to choose map 2. And so a lot of momentum into the hands of this Vikings team. And maybe it's because I didn't jinx it, but, you know, for these top-tier matchups, we've had the last Wednesday and Thursday, or excuse me, Thursday and Friday, have had matchups that have had map 3 deciders, multiple round 7 maps, and have been fantastic games. You know, week 8, as we get into the later half of the season, you usually get that, right? You can expect the even matchups, but Vikings have managed to somehow sweep map 1 out from underneath BossFight. And they now have to sort of decide and debate where we go. We're still waiting on this map pick for map 2. While we have this downtime, I suppose a quick shout out to everyone hanging out in chat. We do appreciate you. Steve Jameston, Yquay, Gold Bagger, Knockdome, BMG Lamode, IJPO. Thank you all for stopping in. Looking for those first-time chatters as well. We do appreciate you. Skim Armin, General Siegel. I think I might have already got you. Hoochie, I see you in here. Long-time fan favorites. Gavin Gamin, I think that's everyone. And if I missed you, I do apologize. But we do appreciate you hanging out, stopping in chat. If you are new, hit that follow button. We do regular casts here. And if you're not aware, go ahead and check out Onward_VRML3. That should be live right now with another matchup broadcast by Nomad. It's their first solo stream for the VRML. So go ahead and give them some support. Pull up the multi-stream. Get the action going on multiple channels. I wonder if we're in some sort of timeout. Maybe there's a tech issue on my end. There we go. Man, that took a long time. That is one of the longest moments between a round I've had there. Map 2 has been locked in. It is going to be Downfall. And this is a pick from Vikings. And so I think it's a good time to reflect on what we were talking about earlier in the pre-show. In that, while BossFight is a team that has been around since Season 2, and they do maintain a chunk of their core, they are a new team. Radar Head was a big sniper for the BossFight squad, and on long-range maps, they did play an important element into the BossFight team. Because if you have an effective sniper, it opens up different strategies for you, and it forces the teams to defend differently. Now that that threat is not present, and that the BossFight team is a very different team, right? You know, they have the Woods brothers from beginners now over on BossFight. Archer being added in season 11, I think. Could be wrong on that, but I think season 11. You know, they're a different roster. And so Vikings, I think, are playing into this. And I think when we saw BossFight on Downfall last, I don't think it went very well. And so maybe that's what the Vikings are, you know, reflecting back on. And who knows what is going to happen here on this map. I don't know what the Vikings are going to bring to the table. We've seen pretty aggressive playstyle so far. I mean, if you think back on the 4 rounds that we got, no caps, but very early frags. I mean, kills almost in the first minute, I think, on every round. And that's sort of the nature of Hook. But still, we also saw rounds just yesterday on Hook that were slow from teams that are in the top 20. And so, obviously, there's different ways to play. That's why I do love watching. You know, I've really come around. I mean, not come around, but I really do like watching the EU teams now. They have evolved a lot over the seasons, and you know, characteristically, if you look back at maybe season 5, 6, even 7, when you'd think of an EU team, you'd think of a methodical play style that involves attacking around the last minute to 2 minutes. But I don't think that holds true anymore, and I may be sparking some debate there, but I do think that the EU in general, these teams have really developed very good fast-paced strategies, but still do hold that sort of meta that evolved in EU a long time ago in the back of their heads as alternate strategies. And so it provides this variety to the EU squads. And we see it in NA as well from the top squads. You know, really a good team in my mind is a team that can play slow, that can attack in the last 2 minutes, that can put out a good setup phase, maybe find a pick, and then execute in the final minute and a half of a round. But I also do applaud teams that excel at attacking heavy with a smoke application, a full force push, suppressive fire, and, you know, securing caps within 4 minutes. Or within 2 minutes. I love to see those aggressive styles of plays as well. And these teams are very capable of executing those. I mean, Vikings, again, not waiting around to finish off that round 4 on that map. And well, it has me wondering what we're going to get on Downfall for sure. And, you know, I say BossFight didn't play. I mean, I would assume that if BossFight had a tough time here in a previous match, that they are then going to practice and refine, look at the tape, and hone in the strategy here for Downfall. So I think, you know, we're going to get a... Well, I don't, you know, I guess I thought we were going to get an even matchup on Hook, but look at that, 4-0 from Vikings. I think it's going to be an even back and forth here on Downfall. Maybe leading into the hands of BossFight if they can kind of tap into that old winning Downfall strategy. But It is just a matter of time. We do have everyone in lobby. We've certainly not been fast in our lobby play. I'll tell you that, the EU being methodical in their round starting. But that's what we got from the NA squads yesterday. Everybody, as we get into the back half of this season, is locking it in. And I think as you get in between maps, between rounds, they're going to utilize the full time available to them to really strategize, make sure everybody knows what's happening before the round begins. And we are into the action.
Do not be in an M2
for round number 1 on map 2, Downfall. Vikings on the attack, BossFight on defense. Early defensive smokes, that one a bit too far. Going to require a follow-up. That's going to block the line from Little Sayonara, or for Little Sayonara to cross. Hey, look at the overhead, an interesting rollout here from Vikings. It looked like an initial sort of press up to the center, and then they dropped back in almost a bit of an ebb and flow. That's now rotate in through the south. Not a lot of time being wasted here, though. Confident in the potential positions from the defense. And, I mean, look at this. They're not even worried about White House at all. Caltrop and Embo not checking that window. Mantis flying in from the bottom here.
One probably heady two-story. There's probably not somebody in Phantom Shed, otherwise known as North Brothel. I do not have a shed. I do not have a smoke.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
I'm not gonna cross.
Oh!
I fucking knew it, man.
Woods finds the first kill, and Mantis calling it out that someone would be in this two-story. And lo and behold, Woods 43 crouched and waiting. Tagging him with the G36 from that range nonetheless, though. A nice shot. And this is the start BossFight needed. And if I'm looking at the overhead, I want to know what the timing is here. I think they still need Brywin to get up into the north.
There's one Center Hotel behind the wooden door. I preferred it, but
Shadow Warrior taking shots
I don't know whether I
here.
got him.
Relatively safe.
He might be the one who killed him, not the Bruffel guy.
Calls out the position to the rest of the team. You can see Mantis looking for the angle here from the two-story.
Flush my building then.
It's interesting that we're not seeing mini long-range scopes. Shadow Warrior
No, I literally
does
saw
have
him
that
flip
12
through
times.
the door.
But, you know, there could be some kills coming in here
No.
onto Woods.
Side behind the wooden.
There was a long, a bit of a scope from that hilltop. I think Mantis could have found the kill onto Woods, but Woods holding a bit of a later angle now, not exposed out through the windows. Going to be waiting, if anything, for Mantis to peek up over this ledge and look for another kill on this south hill. Ooh, and Mantis does ID Woods 43. The shots come in and just barely miss. Archer able to find Thrywin over in the north. And Woods just barely prones their way out of those shots. Embo pushing up off of them. Woods actually may be able to pop up and catch Embo on the corner. Oh, but they're not. The suppressive fire does keep Woods in. And now Embo almost IDs Woods through that window. Woods tucks back deep. Scooby-Doo manages the C4-1. Embo tries to cross out. That's not going to work out as Radar Head finds that kill. And great C4 use here from BossFight to shut down the entry in from the front. Shadow Warrior getting caught out by that. There was another C4 place there that got detonated, but didn't end up getting anybody. And now Mantis is alone in a 1v5. Wow. BossFight really turning it around here on the start of Vikings map pick of all things. And I wonder if we're in for a full swing. Sometimes a sweep like that can almost throw your team off a little bit. And you can see the reverse sweep happen.
One helicopter bungalow behind the wall.
It's obviously pretty early to be calling out that sort of prediction, but a 5v1 definitely looks good right now for the likes of Vikings. Or excuse me, for BossFight. Mantis trying to push up. Archer doesn't peek as Woods finds the kill. Mantis dancing to their death. With only 15 seconds left, time not on their side, so they had to push. But BossFight, almost everyone getting a kill, goes up 1-0, and that's their first points on the board. I mean, hard to imagine that they've been scoreless so far. So many of those rounds that were won by Vikings were close. 1v2s, 2v3s. Kills did get locked in there from BossFight, but Vikings just ended up winning off of off those 2v3s. And so, while the momentum was certainly into the hands of Vikings off of a nice 4-0 W, I don't know if necessarily the energy was there. And so, BossFight definitely still in it after the 4-0, not feeling too hurt, and come in with a great defensive round. Woods kicking it off with an early pick, and I mean, nobody got through the BossFight defense. And one thing I like seeing is the C4 application. It makes sense why Woods had a G36, because they have to go specialist to be able to throw that C4. And so it's why there were 2 G36 on the field on defense, because there was 2 C4 placements around the 3-story, which I don't think I've seen before. I can't even remember the last time I saw C4 placed on Downfall. I think it got used yesterday on Downfall, but like as a grenade, not pre-planned.
Watch out for the pre-fire.
Either way, a great start for BossFight. Vikings now go on the defense. We'll have to see what this attack looks like. The north spawn.
I think south one. I think it's south.
Oh, and nearly a kill for Vikings to kick things off. Sayonara is able to tuck in away from the bullets. And this objective is interesting because there is multiple spawns on Volk. I think it's one of the only, or one of the very few objectives that has multiple Volk spawns. And so you could hear at the start there, BossFight talking about where they could be spawned in. And, well, they got the close to objective spawn. BossFight had the far away from objective spawn, so we got to see both of those there on this OBJ.
No, there's no way they can get to dumpster, where's the north spawn.
And so you're hearing the variety that that element throws in there. Having the north allows you to take more control of the south side of the building. And there is essentially nobody here to hold the south. There's no C4 placements that could have been tossed out onto the 3-story because nobody could have gotten there without being detected. Mantis is the only one who's out here. and everybody else tucked in over towards objective. So the south entry going to be the safest. Mantis just took the headset off, took a little breather. Maybe got a little sip of some water or something to prepare themselves for the incoming round.
Smoked. He's smoked.
One thing we saw yesterday was a lack of utility utilized to get into this position that Woods has gotten into.
That. That's the first time in ages.
And Caltrop didn't see the entry up the stairs because it was smoked. And Woods manages to get into the two-story. A very important spot to be in because they can't really be scooped up by a Warrior or Caltrop because of the palm tree, and they have an angle down into the building that Thrywin's in, so now Thrywin can't necessarily peek out of their window. Oh my goodness, and it is still risky. Woods has to duck and cover.
Copter, there's one rushing. I killed the one rushing near helicopter. I killed him.
An interesting play from BossFight, trying to draw the attention of the duo over in the north and send one up through the middle while the rest looked back and tried to identify rotations. Archer trying to scoop up Mantis there in the three-story. If they could have done that, it would have opened up a lot of ground. But Mantis holding an important spot there. Definitely going to throw a wrench in the BossFight attack. Slow cross here going to be very risky with Thrywin watching. But Thrywin looking for the upper bridge there. It does take a few shots, and Sayonara calling out some info. Embo here in the two-story. A bit of an off-meta position, going to be ready for Sayonara to push out. Those bullets don't connect, though.
Orange.
2 minutes left. We're into a full-on firefight. Archer finds the head of Warrior. A big kill there. Archer flying down in the open. Mantis
pulling out between the two bungalows.
Pops out to catch the kill right under the nose of little Sayonara and Scooby-Doo. As Sayonara tries to push up, Embo peeks out. Woods scoops up one in the north. That opens up the north entry, and it's a 2v3. Matter of timing things up with a minute left now. As Scooby-Doo does make their way in.
I'm gonna spend 20 seconds looking at orange.
Scooby is going to look for Embo before trying to push their way up. The shots come in, do not connect. Oh, and they think they've tagged Embo down. Woods advancing forward here. If Thrywin goes down, it's bad news. Woods comes flying out. Thrywin doesn't take the shots. Do they not see Woods back there? Oh, they do turn around just in time. That could have been 3-0. Scooby still not able to get rid of Embo. 22 seconds left. And Thrywin finds the second kill.
He was close, guys. He was on truck on north. He was almost snuck on top of it.
A very close push there from the likes of BossFight. But we are now tied. Our first tie of the series. Oh, I think I'm looking at chat now between the rounds. What's up, everybody? Well, we'll see. Either way, thank you all for tuning in and hanging out here today. Everything's fine on this channel. The last I checked, there was also another match going live over on VRML 3 if you want to go check that out. And I suppose to the point of Hoochie, try not to share the scores in here, as some might want to watch the full thing after this. You know, tune into the VOD and watch the action. Twitch locks in all the VODs for a month, but then we also have a YouTube, a new system that we're doing as of late. We have a YouTube archive where all VRML matches go as a whole. So all Echo Arena, Pavlov, Onward matches get dumped onto the archive channel on YouTube. And then going forward, we will have the Onward VRML channel be populated with highlight reels, potentially team interviews, and different kinds of content as we build the creator team over the next few, well, this season and the next. And yeah, it'll be something to kind of keep an eye out for going forward. But still a lot of work to do on that front for Onward at the very least. So I suppose keep your eyes open for it. Anywho, back into the action we go for round number 3 of map 2.
Well, there he was.
He pushed towards twins.
And the long rotation going to allow
Copy that. I'm getting in.
Brywin to get all the way over to Red Truck. And actually seems to be also forcing 2 more to rotate, Sayonara and Scooby, to really push over to that north side. Meanwhile, 3-story already been taken control of. The fast spawn for Vikings here are often considered the fast spawn.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the corner.
Gives them control of the 3-story right away, and now they have to cross out up towards objective. The real important element is Scooby, who has rotated up into the sub-building there on the north. Excuse me, the south hill. And they are covering sort of the end-all, be-all line, or one of the most important lines that Vikings
I'm just
are going
holding
to have
Darkroom
to
to Brothel, but if
Oftentimes
Shadow
we'll see smoke
prones up
supply.
the main street, I might be an easy kill.
You can see, you know, if they try and prone across the rocks, there is maybe some chance of getting around Scooby's line of sight, but the real way to root him out is going to be suppressive fire and smokes and, applying everything together here
Oh, fuck,
to be
I'm
able
an
to get
easy
across Scooby, and that is going to be a lot of utility. The other option is to have one push in from that southeast side, like Thrywin, but they are more going out through the middle.
That's going to be a no-go there, Cap.
It is worth noting that
And nothing in this room to protect me.
Sayonara is very off objective. It's going to take a long rotation if things go wrong for them to be able to even swing back and check. And if they can't check it in time, it's a long push down to the objective to be able to prevent a cap. The other spot we have to keep an eye on is Woods 43. Tucked in way up onto the 2-story. A building that's hard to get into, but if you can secure it, it puts you in a great spot. Archer gonna find the first kill as this push comes in off of the 3-story, and Woods is hunting for picks as they have a great vantage point down into the advanced lines.
Stop.
Alright.
Just north, just east of the heli. Heli sandpits. No.
Mantis actually finds one. We are into a full-on firefight. Everybody on the hunt. Shadow Warrior gets scooped up by Archer. The second kill over the rocks there, or over the wall there for Archer. As Woods takes more shots, Embo is keyed in. There's a suppressive fire up onto Woods. Mantis feeling the heat. The duo here definitely in the thick of it. Thrywin trying to support with suppressive fire up onto that position onto Woods. And they are doing a great job of preventing Woods from being even more effective and pushing out, checking down that far lane, and really shutting down this advance. Mantis, however, still here. Archer still there. Archer
Killed upper dumpster dark room.
not there anymore. Embo finds the kill. And that's a big pick. Archer is actually the only one on objective that's defending. Woods 43 is the only other one with the line of sight down into the objective space. There is an easy push up here for Embo, but now that Thrywin's gone, Woods has the comfort of peeking down.
Oh, my audio cable unplugged.
And Woods in the most important spot right now for this defense. And it's a lot of trust. Sayonara and Scooby are holding their angles. You know, believing that Woods will be able to shut down the advance up onto the objective. And, I mean, frankly, they have the position to do it. A matter of if Embo can find the pick. And I think even if they find the pick, Sayonara has been slowly working their way up. So they can kind of pop up and be a threat. Right now they can pop up and be a threat right down onto Embo, but they're going to make it inside the two-story. I don't think Woods saw that push, but they're not going to risk exposing themselves. And then again, it's all trust in the team. Trusting that Sayonara will catch that exit out, and they do indeed catch the exit out.
Nice job, guys.
Embo goes down, and BossFight put up another good defensive round. Certainly some points that could have been exploited, if you will. But at the same time, they're there for a reason. You know, Woods is up way away from objective to hold that line for a reason. And a great hold from BossFight there. I like it. You know, the real thing about that Woods position is oftentimes out of spawn you'll see teams defending you'll see the offense preventing the defense from getting up into that position right out of spawn. For I think both spawns you can do it. I don't think they went for the early shots because they wanted to almost maybe stealth their way up into the three-story. I'm not sure. I wasn't really necessarily on board that side of the map at the spawn, but either way, Woods getting up there was huge. And the rest of the defense doing great. I don't even know if Woods actually got, 4 and 1, so they definitely picked up a kill or 2 up there. Yeah, I know they got Thrywin up the middle. And that is, again, you know, just one position. Look at everybody else, Scooby and that, and the up on the hilltop. Everyone's position. I mean, like I said, a solid hold, and Vikings now have to do the same. Swap sides. They go on defense. BossFight on the attack. Go back into the action for round number 4, map 2. I appreciate the VRML admin hopping in and answering some questions in chat. I see we have the question mark, any venues matches happening this season? And the answer is yes. We actually have one tonight. I'm doing a double header, if you will, but not right after this, but at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern time over at twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague. We'll be having more VRML action. I think it's LF Aguares and
I'm good.
I can't remember who they're playing. But the Spanish crowd certainly will be turning up for that action and should be a great back and forth. Like I said, as we get into the back half of this season, you're going to get good matches all across the rankings. And so it'll be a fun one to tune into later tonight. And then also tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST, we have another, I think that's a bit of a higher tier matchup. I'm trying to remember what the Sunday game is.
House toilet.
But there is also one over at twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague. And Horizon venues at 12 p.m. PST.
Those shots are
That's
from
enough of
White
that,
House toilet.
though. We are here with this action right in front of us. Archer trying to cross out. Somewhat similar defensive setup,
Yeah,
but
Marsoc, he's got
a
me pinged
very
here.
different rollout from the offense. BossFight not able to push up and get into that 3-story out of spawn.
It's not likely, but it might be.
I think they got the north. I think they spawned in the north too. I think they had to rotate down into the south side. But that is a great smoke. Woods crosses out. Impressive fire to Caltrop prevents them from peeking, and Woods able to get inside this window, get a little bit of cover, and now able to hold several different common defensive positions and prevent those from being effective. It's a really odd defensive layout. Trying to find where their 5th is. Crazy. Very spread.
-1
No
west,
one
Rainbow
near
Four.
objective. Embo's going to find the first kill from White House, though. Almost another getting locked
There's one
in
behind
as
the stone wall
Mantis
between the
tries
two
to catch
bungalows.
out Radar Head. And this is a really interesting spread here from Vikings. This forward position in particular from Mantis, a tough one to get into, but they're here and they are threatening Radar Head, preventing them from really being able to comfortably push up into the middle and get control from the center of the map. And that's an important piece to have control of. Wow, and this is the fake death. Woods has just faked their death.
Not yet.
No. Stay alive, mate. We're
Trying
to.
to.
Stay alive.
I don't know where it's coming from.
There's someone, sounds like someone mid.
Oh, and now Caltrop's gonna peek up and over, and there's the shots from Caltrop. Woods getting picked off. Caught out in the open there. Caltrop re-peeks. They nearly go down. Archer can't quite lock
Rooftop
it in.
mid hotel.
Three left for BossFight, though. Radar kind of trapped as well.
That's our.
Yeah.
Shadow and Thrywin holding from the hilltop. And Radar does pop
He's
out
on the
to
mini roof
catch
part
one.
of the top of Motel now.
Despite
The mini
Mantis
roof
here
of
being a
the
potential threat,
south-facing.
Radar has found a corner that they can shoot from comfortably. Mantis just can't quite check out the window far enough. It's too thick of a wall. Oh, but they could check this way. Embo sniping Archer
Killed
from
another
a
West.
distance. The White House window paying off for Embo, as that's their 3rd kill, I think, this round. While the time ticks down, Radar Head is really kind of trapped. They know there's one here defending. And whenever they move, it's going to be called out by Mantis. So now Shadow and Thrywin can look in over the shoulder. Oh, and this is an aggressive swing from Mantis here, feeling maybe a bit overconfident. As they get out completely caught in the open, Radar flies in to find the kill. That's a 2v3. Vikings not out of the woods just yet. But with a minute left, BossFight have a lot of ground to cover. I don't know how much utility is really left in their arsenal or what this play could even look like. Both Embo and Thrywin have rotated off. Those are good smokes, but Embo will have a line in from the hill. And that's the big pick. Scooby goes down. Radar Head alone with 40 seconds left. Has to crash in from the center. Shadow has a line down into them. Thrywin's right there as well. This is going to be tough for Radar Head to overcome. And there's the shot. Shadow Warrior locking it in, and we continue the trade Volk rounds for map number 2. A bit of what you'd expect on Downfall, but how long do we continue the trade Volk rounds? is the question I raise to you as we go to our next objective. Also, as a reminder for those tuning in, we always play out the third map. So even if Vikings can manage to lock in map 2, we will still play out the third. So there is still at least another map's worth of action. But I do appreciate you stopping in and hanging out. Also, as a reminder, I'm going to double check to make sure I'm right on that. But we are also live over on Onward _ VRML 3. If you want to go support Nomad on their first solo cast, go ahead. I think they are having some technical difficulties though, so again, cut them some slack. That's the whole reason of that third channel, to sort of test out and troubleshoot the issues. We'll have them back in no time, and you got action here to tune into, so no worries. A brief time to take a look at our KDs. Embo 5 and 2 for Vikings, 4 and 2 for Woods over on BossFight, 5 and 3 for Archer. Missed that. The standout shooters so far. Found a bunch of kills in that last round as well. And we change objectives. If you haven't noticed, this next one kind of crazy. I know at one point in time teams could opt out of playing this objective. I don't know if that's the case anymore, as I've seen a lot of good strategies evolve around this map in particular, around this objective, excuse me. And we're gonna actually have a much slower attack on this objective than we would normally expect. Oftentimes, the quick spawn is what the Marsoc team gets, and it lets them essentially attack right away. But because they have not gotten that spawn, BossFight have all the time in the world to set up and get into position. And
Can't spend too much time. I'll leave you to look at it.
Yeah, definite Marsoc tower.
now they managed to get one up into the tower. The other position that is interesting is Woods. They are taking a deep angle back behind this ridge. And I wonder what their play is, because I know that they've thrown variety here in terms of where they will sit on this hill. And it gives you a long line down, at least over around the objective. The trouble is once you get onto the objective, you can't see it. But it's so out in the open that being up there just gives you great coverage of anybody trying to cross.
No, he didn't. You're looking at it wrong.
Keep the eyes on Caltrop as they hold that line. Shadow Warrior, the sniper for Vikings, utilizing the 12 times again here. No drone. Kind of an interesting note. Don't want to spend the points.
Yeah.
But Shadow is here looking. And, I mean, the defense from BossFight here, I expect to be pretty airtight. Oh, there is the drone.
Drone's down. Spotted me. Probably spotted you as well, Scoob, if you're in the open.
I didn't think you could share the drone. Guess you learn something every day. At least I haven't seen it done, but we were watching the sniper not use the drone, so something happened. Either way, Woods giving away their position up on this hilltop now, but also not finding anyone. They'll rotate around as they have a lot of options to kind of pop up on all across this ridge. But they'll always have to be a little bit concerned about Shadow Warrior. I think the palm tree is actually blocking vision, and so, you know, the research being done. Scooby actually is the one that finds the kill onto Embo from the White Tower. Another shot. Woods tries to catch Mantis on the ridge, but Mantis is able to tuck in. serious long range engagements here as Woods tries to peek up. Mantis shuts that down with some suppressive fire. Woods prones their way
These two started,
from
Roger.
peeking that. Mantis gets a little overexcited here. They could end up pushing up and over the top,
I can't do shit until this
where
thing's trying
Scooby
to
could find the shots down onto them from the tower. And so Vikings are just in a tough spot right now with where this defense is. I'm not sure what their play will look like here, because Scooby can potentially cover 360 degrees around the objective space. They have the fallback plan of Woods, who can pop up whenever they need on the hill, anywhere on the hill, and the rest of the defense.
He's the farthest guy.
So those are just two powerful spots. They still have Archer on objective, Sayonara on the back, Radar Head looking for the late angle here, the late cross from Caltrop. It's a nice setup, and it is going to come down to BossFight executing towards the objective for this to pay off. Well, obviously, with the setup that BossFight have here, it's interesting. It's not even really a lot of I don't know. I'm not sure what the proper approach is.
Don't know. I've been watching, but I can't keep my eyes on it.
Yeah, he's still up there. 1 minute.
And that is
He's coming from
the
center
real
bungalow. Center bungalow. In
point
the
of
open.
it. There's only 1 minute left. Caltrop tries to cross out, but the call in from Archer focuses Radar back to the position that they need to focus in. Brywin is able to find the refrag through the window, and now they're looking for Woods deep into the hill. 35 seconds left, and they have to push up onto Archer. Little Sayonara can check out the window. Archer is here on objective. Brywin is going to have a tough time as they suppress up into that two-story. They push out. Sayonara has the line, and they find the kill. Woods sending shots out from the hilltop as Shadow is now alone with 15 seconds to push to the objective. Time will be their downfall, as the kill is secured from Woods.
One's on the objective.
A bit of a team kill there. Archer scolding Scooby, but like they were saying, they won. And so BossFight take that round and go up 3-2. Oop, on Fortnite. Change it. BossFight go up 3-2 and are now on the attack. And it's in, I mean, this objective's crazy because the spawn could be fast. We could have action in the first minute. So it depends where BossFight end up spawning, what kind of attack we see here. What a great setup there from that BossFight defense to hold that objective. And I mean, a near push. Mantis almost got to the objective space. Radar wasn't holding that line until very late when they rechecked off of the call out from Archer. So big plays there around the objective. Archer still would have been there to shoot, but you know, who knows what happens. Could be a cap. That's the map. 4-2 into Vikings' hands. That's the series. So again, a good hold, and as we always do, we swap sides, and BossFight will attack next. So a lot of it going to come down to that spawn again. That quick spawn is. Jack, can correct me if I'm wrong. I think is there 2 quick spawns, or is it just the one in the ravine? I think it's just the one in the ravine now. But regardless, they get the same spawn that Vikings had, and BossFight will have the long haul in front of them, while Vikings will have all the time in the world they need to set up on defense.
Just saying.
Got 20 Schmeckle says they got Valley spawn.
You should push Valley. Somebody should push Valley. 100%.
Get the south spawn though.
And the concern there, you know, the conversation that they're certainly getting that ravine spawn, but with no action out the gate, it's pretty safe to assume that no one's coming in. And there's the call out. They have the same spawn. And it's a very different defensive setup.
One on upper red already?
Everyone pushed up into these forward buildings. Nobody's sitting back. I love it. A completely different style here, and we'll see if it pays off against the boss fight attack. And that's going to be a great way to kick off the attack for boss fight. Radar Head getting rid of this corner point defense. Oh no, and Caltrop going down. This is not good. The on-objective defense getting whittled away now. The push up the center could wreak havoc on this Vikings defense. They have the suppressive fire over the top. Boss fight maybe looking at an early push despite them getting the slow spawn. They are set up great right now.
Let us know if you see anything, Caltrop.
Oh, and that's interesting though.
Did you
Caltrop
kill the
is
guy in the
down,
south?
but not dead. So they can actually identify positions and rotations from the north side, and that means that Shadow Warrior doesn't have to risk peeking out. Oh man, and that M203 just barely
They
missed
tried
a
to
touch
grenade
too
me.
low. That would have been it. Vikings charging in. Or boss fight, excuse me, but such a risky peek here from Shadow Warrior as they continue to kind of cross back and forth. A lot of shots coming into Woods. But this is exactly what Woods is supposed to do. Draw fire and suppress. And they're drawing a lot of fire and suppressing, and meanwhile, the rest of the team is getting information and trying to set up.
For 3 minutes, we need to work out how to do this. I've got smoke. If you want to use that to cross.
We still have like open ground to cover.
We can go around behind North Hotel.
Embo is really the one interesting element in this defense. They are staying true over to holding that ravine side, and it actually might work out because Scooby is swinging in.
But it's the only way we can really take back this round.
Oh, and Embo is actually going to get aggressive. They're going to fly up and over, and they don't get Scooby. They spot him, but none of the shots connect as Scooby just barely avoids the line of sight. Trywin goes down. Shadow Warrior left alone in a 1v4. Probably the best spot to be in, frankly, but still. A great attack from Boss Fight. There's the kill.
Killed him. He was
Scooby
Echo
finds the
1.
shot
Wow.
from the backside, and they seem surprised by the kill count. Boss Fight take map 2, and we are headed to a map 3 decider, the third one in a row this week for a VRML broadcast. Where we go for map 3 is the big question. Boss Fight's map choice. Although, how much does that really matter? This was Vikings map pick on Downfall and they lost. Boss Fight picked Hook and they lost, so it almost feels like at this point having side would be a better advantage than picking the map. And I maybe wonder if that's what Vikings were debating, you know? Do we pick the map or do we have side? Either way. We will now wait. Hopefully not too long, but we do have to wait for the teams to figure out where they want to go. Third map. And it does give me, again, more time to interact with you fine folk that have been hanging out and chatting it up. a PSA to stay friendly. Yeah. As we normally do. Take a quick look at the KDs before they're gone. 6-2 from Woods, 5-4 from Embo, 4-5 from Shadow Warrior, 5-4 from Radar, 5-5 from Archer. So just a few more kills over on that boss fight side of things. And a great rebuttal to being 4-0'd on Hook. I mean, not an easy thing to do at this level. But I didn't expect it. I thought maybe we'd see a 4-0 reversal. 4-2, though, still close. But it did come down to 2-2. And anyway, I think we may be having to do a lobby remake. So that means we're going to a custom map. It's got to be the third custom map that I'm forgetting is in the pool. And I probably don't have it downloaded. Give me a brief moment while we sort the tech difficulties out on our side. It'll be really quick. We'll be in to the map number 3. And again, I do appreciate you all hanging tight while we do really wait for what is going to be an exciting finale to this series. No panic. Still don't know where we're headed. Oh, interesting. I'm getting info now. We're going to Paradise for map 3. I did have that map, so it wasn't me. But Vikings did not. So it makes you wonder, how prepared is this Vikings team going to be for this Paradise map pick? I would say not a lot. I mean, maybe there was a relatively recent update to the map, but I haven't had to update the map, and I've had it for all of this season, I think, or at least this rotation. So I'm not sure. I am getting news that we are going into a timeout, though. And so, despite us waiting for the tech difficulties to be sorted, we are going to wait just a bit longer. And while we do, I'll cut to an intermission, a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back for the Map 3 Decider. Don't go anywhere. More Onward VRML action in just a few minutes.
to go.
I had to get rid of him. He was being toxic. Every time he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him? Just keep
I
unbanning
don't
him,
know,
bro.
bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting for us to get back into the action for map number 3 of this super exciting series. If you are just tuning in, you've missed what has been a really good back and forth duel. Strategies on display from both teams. Hook going to 4-0 in the way of Vikings. A pretty dominant performance on that Hook 2.0 map. There were close rounds, a couple of 3-2s, so BossFight were certainly in it, and I think they rode that in-it momentum into Downfall in order to come out 4-2 there. We now go to Paradise for map number 3, and I'm not seeing any subs on either side. So I think we're going to maintain the same 5 rosters. BossFight going with Radar Head, Little Sayonara, Scooby-Doo, Woods 43, and 24 Gray. Vikings going with Thrywin, Embo, Shadow Warrior, Mantis, and Caltrop. And so, again, no subs for either side in this final map. We should be getting in to map 3 any moment now. I did just want to pop in and give a quick recap before the action starts. I do appreciate the shout-outs in chat as well. I mean, these games are as fun for me to cast as they are for you to watch, so we're all having a good time here in these matchups, that's for dang sure. As for what to expect on Paradise between these two teams, that is sort of the big question mark. Hook 2.0, that was what I was expecting to be a bit more back and forth, but the custom map pool, it's so hard to really understand without being the player. And, you know, I mentioned I'd like to do more player interviews. Maybe we can just kind of go into their minds more often. Ask them questions. But regardless, it's so hard to understand, you know, what the strategy is here, because Hook was a custom map, new to this map, to this second half of the map pool rotation, and it did not go well for BossFight. Vikings seem to be ready, but now they pick into Paradise, and from what I understood, Vikings didn't even have this map downloaded.
Pick this map.
No, we're fine. I'll do it next round. But geez.
And so I don't know.
I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I'm moving out land.
Wow. Not what you really expect to see at the top tier, but I guess if anything, it shows you. Well, we'll see what it shows. We'll see if Vikings can manage their way through a map that they do not have a good understanding of. At the very least, one or two of their players don't. You know, just because the reason that we couldn't get to that map right away was because they had to download it, and it could have just been one or two players. Caltrop may just be unfamiliar with this map, while the rest do know. But what that does show you is that they haven't practiced it as a team.
Just saw one in the south east corner, moving towards the south construction.
We'll have to see again what the BossFight attacks looks like.
Line,
they have callouts, so very much ready for it. What's coming there towards Little Sayonara from Thrywan as they try and cross back into that two-story. And I think Sayonara is trying to get up on this rock. Yep. Trying to peek up on the rock over the wall.
One's in radio tower, one is in radio tower. Yes, he's inside it.
And that small peek allowed them to identify Thrywan through the door. It'll be interesting to see if Sayonara does find Caltrop. I almost feel like it's an off-meta position, but I don't even know if Sayonara is going to be pushing from that side. You look at the setup from BossFight, it is more favored to this northeast side. Woods is pushing up confidently through this space. Sometimes defenders can extend up into this building area, but maybe they've cleared it from their building position. Scooby likely did. And so Woods, free and easy to push up here. They're playing it even extra safe, rotating around deep to not overexpose. Clear that story directly across from them and then peek over. Down for Thrywan behind that wall, and now the ultimate high ground secured for Woods. They can suppress down into objective space while the rest of the team tries to move forward. That smoke perfectly placed. Blocks Mantis's vision, forced the rotation, and I think Woods heard that. Looking on the back for Shadow Warrior. There's Caltrop catching out Little Sayonara.
He was right there.
Woods able to get rid of one. Caltrop is pushing out and swinging around inside that main courtyard space, and there are a lot of eyes directed at him right now. This position.
One on me.
No, I'm not.
Doing a good job of distracting a lot of the offense. BossFight eager to kill Caltrop, and finally they do.
Beautiful, I can fall.
They have the accurate kill count. And Mantis may snag Woods here. Oh, but Woods drops off just before Mantis can see this rotation. And now there's no footsteps for Mantis to hear, so yeah, they can assume that there's been movement. Look at the reaction, almost gets Woods.
There's one.
Love to see the processing there. You could almost see the computing of Mantis' brain there. Find Woods on the backside.
Mine's one east.
Big shutdown of the east. They crash back to objective. There's 3 still alive and well on the objective space. Minute 15 left on the clock. Radar. Oh, peeks out, takes the shot, misses onto Mantis, and now has to shift.
One pushing OBJ.
1-for-1 trade there. Both Mantis and Warrior getting a piece of that
there's
kill
another
on
one
the
east,
radar, but it's a
north,
2-2
maybe?
situation that we're in now. "48 seconds left. This offense is far away. It's going to be a very... Wow, this is going to be tight to the time constraint. Grave pops up on the rock and catches Mantis just by the edge of their elbow.
Smoking OBJ.
Oh, that smoke doesn't go where they need it. More smoke's coming in from Scooby, though, and 27 seconds left. They have to crash in. Scooby's there. Shadow Warrior shuts down one, swings to look for the second. Can't quite find Gray behind these boxes. 18 seconds left. The C4 comes over, and that's that. What a great play from Warrior. Vikings hang on to their defensive round. Take the lead 1-0. Where's the headphones? Series has been going not too long. An hour 45. We're into the third map. But I think we should be good. Just now have the blanket and the cord. You're really getting the full inside baseball experience. Obviously, though, we swap sides. BossFight defend. Vikings have to attack. That should be interesting to see. I feel, I mean, maybe kind of an obvious statement, but I feel like defending is easier without map knowledge than attacking is. And even if only a teammate or two lack the map knowledge, you can kind of compensate for it. At this stage, you know, both the players on these teams, they have so much game experience that if you tell them where to go and where to sit and what angles to hold, they can do that well. You know, so Caltrop, a moldable piece of putty, if you will, for the Vikings team.
No, I want you on the objective.
And they can fit him to any crack that they need
well.
to
I don't want anyone pushed out. We can't give you any support from
plug.
radio.
Map number 2, excuse me, map number 3, round number 2. Into the action we go. This is the same spawn.
I'm so sorry that you have to.
Focus, goddammit.
Watch on the south
Oh,
line.
and we're going to see some action early here from Woods. An interesting flash to let them cross that corner and get into this two-story. Swing up to 3, have a great vision over into a couple of these buildings off of the patio. And you can see a lot of folks are trying to spot this out. It's not easy to identify inside these windows either, so... Well, that's a good shot.
-1 green
Endo able
building,
to get
Rainbow
rid of
4.
Woods.
North of Woods position.
Maybe it's all a ruse. Maybe they uninstalled the map to pretend like they didn't have it ready. Oh, there's
Someone
Caltrop.
north of that building I just called out, but I can't double tap him.
Headshot from radar is enough to fully confirm Caltrop, so no res even available, but they don't know that. Vikings on a bit of a holding pattern.
Is that south parking bottom floor or top
It
floor?
looks a bit like a 2-minute push setup. But this map isn't exactly big.
Oh, fuck, okay.
He's not going to be peeking that again.
So that's east then, straight east. Sorry, west.
Northeast.
Straight west.
Northeast. What,
Seems like there's also a misunderstanding on BossFight's side on this map too. And just like Hook, the custom maps could strike here.
Okay, I just missed a few shots on Woods' building.
Interesting, during this distraction, Mantis moving their way up. Gray is holding a late angle on the corner, though. If Mantis keeps going on this path, they are going to run into Gray's line of sight, I think. Maybe being crouched, they'll avoid it. Oh my goodness, Gray is not going to see Mantis here. That prone angle, not able to clear deep enough over the wall. And Mantis makes it safe and sound. For how long, that remains to be seen, though. Gray holding another late angle that Mantis doesn't seem to check. But Gray drops off it. And Mantis gets past. I think Gray spotted that out, though. Yeah, now Sayonara is checking. But Sayonara misses on the peak. Oh, and the MCX shots missed from Mantis. Mantis has to come fly in, and Gray is able there to support. A couple of flashes. I don't think Shadow gets caught by that one. Ryland, meanwhile, on the other side. Vikings set up nicely for the attack. It's a matter of execution. Oh, a nice pop-up from Shadow Warrior to get rid of Sayonara. Thrywin still swinging in from the other side. Gray able to shut down one. No, Scooby getting Embo. Wow, and now Gray with a minute 20. A 1v2. Thrywin trying to rotate behind Scooby-Doo here, but it's taking a long time. Minute 15 left as Gray just misses on the Warrior there. Oh, and Warrior's trying to peek the ramp. Gray able to tuck in just in time. Oh, and Gray is just doing the exact right rotation. That flash, I don't think catches Gray out, but Thrywin swings just right. Oh, a team kill there, and Scooby. Oh, no. What a unfortunate circumstance there for Vikings. They were looking at a 2-0 in their grip. At least. Probably not a cap, but a 2-0 and... Oh. Oh. What a team kill. Boss fight. Tie it up 1-1. Change objectives, opposite sides of the map now. Dodging the middle. Going to the other side of the street. I'm surprised, to say the least. Vikings don't look like a team that doesn't know the map. And it makes me wonder, maybe they just have, you know, these players have been around for a long time. There very well could be map knowledge from, like, I don't think Paradise was in the rotation season 11, but I know Paradise as a map has been around in the custom map pool for a very long time. And so maybe there is a general understanding from some of the players, or an advanced understanding of this map, and that's all you need. Again, if you can direct skilled shooters to certain spots, they can be effective. And so I would like to put that to the test, you know? Do like an exhibition or something where you have someone just in charge of making the plays and then 5 standout shooters versus a top-tier team that's been around and together for a couple of seasons. Wonder how it would turn out. I think it would.
Steady, babies.
It could be a good game. It could be a blow. I think it would be a good game. When you think about like a good reservist, for example, they're able to fit into a team pretty well and mold with the strategy. We had 5 good reservists. Who's to say you couldn't put something nice together? Anywho, a good hypothetical to kick around in your big brains. Not little, dude. We're all super smart. And get back into the action for round number 3.
They got south spawn, one's trying to cross north.
What the boss fight attack plan is here. Feels like they're going to be challenging.
Oh yeah, one's crossing south, one crossed south.
There's finally some action.
Fountain 2, top floor, faces south.
Oh, almost getting picked off. Getting a little too
One's got me pinned, Si.
comfortable along that wall. That nade goes just a bit too far. Good thing Gray pushed forward along the wall. And there's a great refrag from Sayonara, ready and waiting for Caltrop to peek.
Brown.
Caltrop doing a good enough job to put a pause in this advance, but not stop it. Meanwhile, Woods working their way very quietly up into the 2nd and 3rd floor, trying to find Thrywin.
One of them is going through the middle that I've seen so far. I think another's using the outskirts.
Yeah, I cannot go into the center without exposing myself, so... Failure objective somewhere. I cannot, it's blocked by the freaking...
One Woods getting thrown off by the auto accused of Thrywin, who's out on the balcony. Obviously not thrown off, as they are dialed in on that potential window entry or exit for Thrywin. Thrywin's angle is a good one. One that Scooby seems to be dialed in on, and yeah, there's a great headshot. That opens up Woods to be a little more comfortable. But even then, still a lot of work to be done here. Radar Head, Shadow Warrior, and Embo both up ahead of them.
I don't know.
Here in this building, I've got Shadow and Mantis on orange building.
Yeah, yeah, one on me. What do you mean, Mantis? Jesus. Yeah, Mantis, one on us, one on us.
Yeah, there's one on us.
Little res there brings BossFight back to 5. Radar Head's position known to the defense, but where they are is the question. How, especially hard to determine levels too.
That's not cool, man.
You know, are they on the first, second, third floor? Can sometimes be a challenge. The Radar Head certainly aware that Shadow Warrior and Embo are up above him. Oh, and Radar is able to make it around that corner just in time. Realizes they can't go up and over the rock. And, oh, Warrior re-peeks. Radar are able to tuck in. Mantis scoops up one in their building. Oh, and Scooby was holding the slice, but as soon as they dropped off, they go down. Wood's able to get rid of Embo on the second floor on that patio. It leaves Shadow Warrior really alone in that yellow building to defend down onto objective. Mantis obviously holding the objective space, and Radar is looking for the headshot here, but can't quite find it over the ledge of that balcony. Oh, a great rotation from Mantis to catch out Radar from a different level.
Another one on me.
Oh, and Shadow Warrior gets 24. Great. Woods 43 left alone in a 1v2. And with a minute left, it's going to be tough. They know where Shadow Warrior is. They have to go all the way up that building, get them out, and then go all the way back down.
He's on my building.
Yeah, Woods doesn't have time to go up that building. They have to push out, and they have to go around here. They've run into Mantis. 26 seconds left. Oh, Warrior has the angle there from the balcony. Catches out Woods, and Vikings pick up their defensive round on map number 3. An interesting call out there that they could have capped. I wonder... I don't think you can cap on the other side of the wall, but maybe you can. That can correct me if I'm wrong. Getting inside info from chat right now. The Nalik reporting in from the field. Yes, Nalik, what's the report? They've played it a max 4 times. Trust you. Okay, well, that's the report coming in from Nalik. Vikings playing this one only about 4 times. That is, of course, if you trust Nalik. The game, regardless, has been pretty dang good, and again, I'm surprised that Vikings are putting up this good of a defense. And I guess maybe not surprised is the right word, but they are the underdog in this scenario, and they are battling along as you would expect them to, as if they had a good understanding of the map, and we're going up against BossFight. So, very good job from them so far. We'll see what the attack looks like. I imagine we continue to trade Volk rounds for most of this final map. Trying to think of any... Well, we do have that center objective. Vikings could play it fast. BossFight could play it fast. There could be, for sure, a cap play in there. That would be crazy. But we're not into that. Well, I guess we are at the threshold right now. If Vikings can lock in a cap, they get map 3. So we'll see. As round number 4 kicks off for map number 3, the series decider.
Radar, you need to chill out. Do we not have 5 people, or is that 3 people in one person? That is 3 people.
There's the 3 in 1. It's the fates, the Haggerty.
The human centipede.
Something like that.
I think Radar threw out some Butcher spoilers there, so heads up. Oh, look at this. The aggressive defense here from Woods. They are on the hunt early, flying out to catch one right away. Thrywin comes in looking for the quick refrag, but doesn't spot much, and I wonder if Woods has heard these movements. Oh, another kill. BossFight doing good to shut down early aggression. A quick refrag from Caltrop onto Scooby-Doo. There comes the confirm.
I killed one of the hotel, yes.
On the outside, on the east, on the west. Side of it. Yeah, copy. Roadside down there. Where? Recovery. We lost Scooby.
Oh, we had that aggressive rollout from both ends. We have gone into a bit of a holding pattern here. Both teams trying to sort of pick off and assess where their friendlies died from, who they need to get rid of, so that they can move forward through the similar path. Both Embo and Caltrop are in a tough spot, though.
Fight me like a man. Let's go bare knuckle boxing.
Scare me, man.
Yellow building.
And one thing I will note about this defense, their on-objective defense is a touch weak. Sayonara and Gray are the only ones watching. Woods and Radar can peek over the ledge, so he's there. They have a pretty good line down onto objective. And they can be effective on rotating in to the other balcony to get rid of anyone that's coming down that lane. So, an interesting spot. You always got to think, you know, if you're wondering at this stage why someone's where they are, they've probably done their homework. And there's a reason. Sometimes there's gaps in coverage, but not very often. Especially with a squad like BossFight or Vikings. So, every spot has its purpose. We'll see what Vikings attack looks like, but I do think hitting it from the south side could be their best bet. You'd have to root out Sayonara from the 2-story, but that's certainly possible.
Down someone in the green building central to, yeah, in the east.
Ooh, a nice pick there from Radar to cross the balconies. Finds Caltrop trying to peek. Embo, meanwhile, getting very close to this objective. Gray seems to have heard this as the flash comes out.
Outside orange.
Don't think it connects. Embo gets inside briefly.
He's up blue.
Oh, there's a nice pickup from Thrywin. A long-range shot from
I'm unsure if I killed one.
the ramp of a 2-story, getting rid of Radar on the back. That's a big pickup, too, because Radar holds a nice angle to protect Thrywin. Or, excuse me, little Sayonara. So Thrywin could now advance on to Sayonara. Embo is taking control of that 2-story. Those shots through the wood nearly find him. Just random guesswork, but you can see the bullets definitely penetrate all the way through.
Okay, Rainbow 4.
Embo's safe, though. Tries to take shots down onto Woods, who was rotating behind him. trade up through the center. It leaves Embo all alone. Woods somehow managing to wrap all the way around to the other side of the map. Hard to keep track of the action this round. It's really been spread out all over the place. But with 15 seconds left, Embo has to push, and Woods has bullets. Embo's out past Woods, up onto the objective. There's the tablet, but the angle is there for Gray. Shuts that down. BossFight take their Marsoc round, and we continue to trade tans on this score. Ooh. And our next objective, the Fountain OVJ. Yeah, it's interesting. When I think of Paradise, I do feel that most objectives are Volk favored. But there are one or two that are pretty tough to defend. The first one, I don't think is very easy to hold on to. And if we do get a clock tower objective, that is very hard to... I mean, we almost saw a cap come through with Notorious, I believe, on that objective. A very fast smoke play can be executed depending on the spawn, and so matter of where the objective is, you know. And if we continue to trade Volk rounds down, Vikings could come out on top of this series, taking away that map pick from BossFight 4-0 on Hook, and then keeping things close 2-2 into Downfall, but then that East objective really hurting them. And here we are, again, 2-2 on Paradise. These two teams showing that they are certainly evenly matched, to say the least. It's been a very exciting back and forth. No real moments where there's not some sort of tension mounting. And maybe after a false start, we can take a breath. But, yeah, I feel the Fountain objective super Volk favorite. I mean, I just don't see, haven't seen yet a good way to attack this objective. You know, maybe getting control of one of the buildings, blue, yellow, or red, is what you need to do first. But because you can defend the Fountain from all three balconies around it, and a third if you want to go across the street to green, it's just so hard to get to. I think smokes would be certainly effective. You know, obviously utility plays a big role in a good offensive push, but
Shadow, I will just two-story instead. Should I go on the roof and look there? On the south side. They're gonna push behind, right?
Shadow, you listening? I'm gonna just watch the entrances and stay silent. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
there's the drone. You'll be breaking it out.
Looks clear. Looks clear.
Gonna be able to clear and identify balconies.
There is an enemy. Fountain 3.
You are actually seeing it there. Searching for info. Nice scout there. That info getting utilized. Woods 43 nearly able to tag Shadow Warrior through that balcony. Shadow tucking back in, going all the way back towards the Fountain, dropping off of their
let me know.
early aggressive angle. Going to rely on Mantis to cover any entries into their building.
Can you see anyone crouching behind the wall for the cap?
Look at the overhead. Give us an idea of where this offense is and what their approach is looking like. Managed to kill that one forward, almost attacker on defense there. See on the bottom south map there. The rest of the play look like. Again, I mean, obviously from our perspective, hitting from the south is going to be easiest. No one has any coverage from that south side. And I feel like that's kind of a risk because they can push in from the yellow building and be right on objective.
-1 could be revivable.
Oh, Caltrop catching out Little Sayonara.
Yellow building. It was like on the east side of the yellow building, orange building, orange yellow building. The southern building.
How did they get that kill? I don't know where that shot, where they were, but these balconies so risky. All these long lines from balcony to balcony. Watch 24 Gray work their way down green here. Wonder if they're going to be looking for a similar challenge over on the Caltrop. Oh, we also got to keep an eye on the north push. Radar head making their way onto Caltrop's building now. And this is going to throw off this defense. Probably give a call out that there's one underneath Caltrop, and then the rest of the squad is going to be looking for it. Shadow Warrior does find it, though. A nice pickup to shut down.
Yeah, I can see anyone going up. So if you hear anyone, let me know.
BV4. Vikings looking to lock in another bulk round as Caltrop nearly scoops up Woods from the green balcony there.
Top floor, northwest blue.
Without radar to disrupt that northwest defense, it's going to be tough to work up through. And really everyone's still alive in the fountain courtyard area, so with only a minute and a half left, a lot of work to be done by BossFight.
One on red, sorry. There's one on my building.
And the comms really on point for Vikings. I think that's what's setting them up for success in these rounds. Not afraid to give away positions, especially with these multiple floors, that they can comfortably radio in, hey, I'm hearing someone beneath me, or there's someone on the corner here or there. But now Scooby not really necessarily safe to push up. And once they get towards Embo, that's not going to be a necessarily safe route either. "45 seconds left. There is practically no time to work with here. The smokes have to be great. I don't think they have any on objective yet. Oh, there's the shot down.
I killed one. There's one below Embo's building.
Woods is identified, and the smoke is there on objective. Woods going to try and rotate around, and Caltrop and everybody dialed in. Scooby trying to fly in from the corner, but the callouts from Shadow Warrior making it so hard. Everybody ready for where these pushes are coming from, and BossFight gets shut down. Vikings with 4 left alive, and like I said, this objective, pretty tough to attack. For those that are just tuning in, a reminder to stop by later tonight over at twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague or Horizon Venues. We'll have a mid-tier battle showcased there. Take a look at who. LF Jaguares versus Relentless. That is the planned matchup to be scheduled, cast over there on Horizon Venues. They are, I think, silver. And one of the newer team, Relentless. They were created in season 12. No, season 11, okay. Could be a fun match. Different style, obviously, but still could be a good even matchup to tune into. So looking forward to that. I know the Jaguares, very capable. He's managed to pop into one or two of their games so far this season. And then tomorrow, a big one. VR Loyal Dogs versus Bursec. Haven't watched Bursec yet this season. They are... Oh, no, excuse me, not a big one, but another mid-tier. We haven't cast a Bursec match yet, though, this season, which I'm interested in seeing. The Loyal Dogs, also a mid-tier team, but love to catch their games, and I think they're Spanish. Yeah, I know the Spanish community always likes seeing those. So, a good weekend to tune into if you do want to catch the action, but we got, obviously, a map to finish up here in front of us. Vikings and BossFight, with Vikings looking at map and series points. They can lock this in.
Very, very optimistic to learn this.
Echo 4.
Oh, Wood's looking for more. Can't quite connect.
Beta 5, Beta 5.
Great.
One's at the green building.
One.
The green building on
Underneath the likes of Woods. Big pickup there.
That's right in front of you on the street level, Woods.
Yeah, roger, mate. I'm looking at him.
Radar head catching
Killed one in the
Embo.
top floor of a grey
Vikings
building.
getting absolutely shut down on this push. 2v5 in the first minute and a half. Buildings are a pain to navigate.
Yes, it's me.
How are we gonna do this?
I'm wondering that too.
Just wait.
Shadow Warrior now alone. As Thrywin gets their heads scooped out by Woods 43. And man, I just don't know what Shadow's plan is going to be. Has to challenge the yellow building and work through Woods, Scooby. Gray's still in orange, Radar's in red. I think, obviously, working through the yellow building would be their best bet, but it's going to be hard not to trade inside that kind of close quarters. Oh no, and they thought Woods was on the bottom floor, but they weren't.
He just traded, or he just killed.
Didn't get him, he's still there.
4. Fountain 3, bottom floor, understood.
Wonder if they now. I wonder if there's confusion in the comms. No, they gotta know the Shadow's here.
Think he's rotate out?
Radar tags the leg. Oh, and an aggressive re-peek. Radar finds the kill.
Hey, babe, what's up?
And, yep. Clock tower it is for our final round of the day. Right in the middle of the map. And I even think the spawn is like a race spawn too, to some extent, in that like Volks don't spawn on the objective, they spawn down the street and have to move up to it, while Marshak also don't spawn on objective, obviously, but they can move up pretty quick, depending on the spawn. So again, we could see, it would be a great play. It would be risky, because I did see the smoke play fail completely from one defender sitting up on a balcony. So, you know, who knows what sort of offensive attack we'll get here, but still, clock tower objective, final round of the day, well, of this series. Going to be quite an interesting finale. I'm seeing some interesting discussion about the colors of these buildings. I suppose it depends. I guess if you are colorblind, you know, yeah, maybe the color depends on what colorblind you are. The colors will be different for sure. But I like the alternative idea that the teams just call buildings different colors to be confusing. You know, like you would call green building blue building for no reason. Other than to confuse your opponent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like you would just end up confusing yourself more. It's like trying to read the word yellow when it's colored blue. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not a good strategy for fast callouts, but I'm not at this level, so what do I know? Utilizing the full minute and a half between rounds here. And I gotta wonder what kind of play we get. What's the Vikings setup like? Are they gonna try and counter-aggress because of the spawn? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out, and I'm sure you all are too, so appreciate you all hanging out. For a sec versus load, I was expecting a full translation. Yeah, we'll do a multicast. We'll have Noman casted in Russian, and we'll get Cynthia Cabello to do the Spanish, and then I'll do English. I could legitimately see us doing that if it was like for the finals. You know what I mean? I would love to try and do multilingual casts. Probably regardless of who is in the finals. And I know we do have a pretty diverse community these days, in particular with the OCE crowd, the whole Spanish community growing. I mean, every community really is growing. There's been tons of new teams that have joined just within the last few days. Which I suppose reminds me, if you are new, to head on over to VRML.com, register for your favorite league and team. You can join as a reservist. You can find teams that are recruiting. Join the Discord. Practice with other players. Get to know the community and get involved. It is pretty welcoming to new players, and the league format itself really allows new players to still have a good time, regardless of what level of skill you are. or? Oh wow, we were. That started 4 minutes ago. 5-minute timeout. I've killed enough time. We'll stay here. But interesting. A tactical timeout, most likely, I would think. And now would be the time that BossFight would need it. Radar radioing that into me, so I'm assuming BossFight took the timeout, but it's not a technical one. It's one to strategize. And I wonder if that's going to hurt Viking. I mean, I would almost think Vikings would have called this. But I think they called the last tech. I think you have 2 timeouts. I think they called the last tech timeout, so they should have 1-5. The Vikings could have called it. Ask. Oh, too late. I'll find out later. Radar will tell me after the round. Anyway, timeout's over, and we are in to round number 7 of map number 3. The round decider, the series decider, it all comes down to this.
Yeah, I'll put this effort on that center.
See what Vikings throw out on defense. What kind of attack BossFight are going to go with? I don't think they have a fast enough spawn to throw any kind of aggression out right away. Caltrops across. Does get noticed. And the spawn quickly called out by Caltrop. M203 doesn't connect. A lot of utility information given away here. Oh, and Sayonara nearly getting picked off. The timing almost hitting them hard there.
Yes. -1.
And you can hear hold the man advantage. Vikings have the 4v5 player advantage right now. Caltrop nearly throws it away. Goes for a risky cross, but gets inside. Embo able to catch Woods. Scooby-Doo in a tough spot. Almost goes down. Brywin nearly scooping him up. Oh, and
there's one. Then there's still one in the 3-story.
maybe out of ammo.
Floor of it.
Something happened to the gun. Wow, BossFight are in a tough spot right now. 2v4. Scooby-Doo needs to find Thrywin. Oh, can't connect.
I injured one. He's still alive. Not even down. I'm gonna get flanked from my left in a second.
It's just this duo. If Caltrop pops up, Gray, very ready for that threat.
Get some smokes out.
One's blue building, top floor.
One's orange building, top floor.
That's blue car 1 right in front of us, right?
Blue, yeah.
Top floor.
One's
Top floor or roof?
The roof.
Stealth play from Thrywin. Oh, gonna make it past Scooby. Where's the objective coverage? I guess it's Caltrop and Embo. But that smoke ain't bad. Oh, Gray's gonna be pushing down this ramp here soon and running into Thrywin, who's ready for it.
-1.
Still one more coming south.
And now Scooby
One close to my building.
cannot afford to stay out here. There is so many lines that can be taken on them. Down this main lane, and there it is.
Boys, we
Caltrop
did it.
finds the kill.
Boys, we paradised it. Fucking how?
I'm asking the same question that Caltrop is, but it happened. Vikings, despite their understanding, or lack thereof, of Paradise, have managed to come out on top with a Paradise W, taking it out from BossFight's pick and snagging the entire series. 2.5 hours of high-octane action delivered to you, so I hope you enjoyed it. A quick shout-out to all of our sponsors. You've seen them ticking across your screen here. ProTube VR, VR Cover, HyperX, VRWare, VRML, Asterion, and Border Foods. You can find all of those sponsors over on the sponsors list on the website. They help contributing to our now 7,000 plus in cash and hardware prize pool. That'll get distributed to our top 3 teams at the end of regular season. Well, the end of the regular season tournament. The end of the postseason tournament. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But regardless, we're several weeks away from that, so be sure to follow, tune in later tonight over at twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague or Horizon Venues or Facebook or YouTube and catch more VRML action. Until then, my name has been NightFiree. Stay classy.